Head on over to G2A and enter Kami's Crystal Cave to get some sweet deals on crystals and more. Remember to click on the lowest price and use the promo code KamiVS to get the best deal. G2A.
All right, here we go. We're not going to include the ones that are stupid, like Magistrates Archives, Trade District.
No, why not?
Because I don't play them enough to feel. We'll do them
we
last.
Can just tell you. Chat can just tell you.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so Ascension Peak. We're looking at pretty much S, A, B, C. Let's think to ourselves, what do we think about when we see Ascension Peak when it loads up? I think, look out for that well. Someone's going to try to grab you and throw you in there. Or look out for that well. You're probably going to jump in there on accident if you're not paying attention. Or like, look out for that well.
You have a lot of issues with that well.
Yeah, dude, it's rough. Flanking feels fine. I don't know. I want to at least put it at a B. I probably want to put it at an A.
It's like S or A for me.
It's that damn well, bro. It's how they get you. Moving on, Bright Marsh. I am going to take a not hot take here and say that Bright Marsh is the best map in the game. Now,
Yes.
it sucks because it doesn't have much verticality. It's got a little bit of verticality and a little bit of tricks to access that verticality if you know how to do wall jumps and to do the jump onto the ledge without using a movement ability. So you can get on top of that ledge without actually having a movement ability. It's just rough because usually when you try to do it, you fall off once and then you make the jump the second time and your team's dead. And you're like, oops, keep that in mind. Drogos' best map, Ask Infernal. S for sucky suck. How dare you? Fish Market. It's going to go an F for fish. And also, it's just real bad. It's not good.
I don't mind it.
I don't like it. So here's the problem. The point has zero cover. It feels real weird, which kind of caters towards my gameplay plan of I hate people that want to just go to point right away. So I remember when we used to scrim on it, we were always just like, okay, do we want to do a 1 or a 1-2 split where essentially we all rush right side or we rush right side and left side? Center didn't exist to us because center's stupid. It's too open. And they've done a little bit of changes here and there with Fish Market, but a lot of the angles on point just feel awful. And I think that's the main problem with Fish Market. Plus there's fish everywhere. That's gross. And there's cheesy shit and Kinessa can do and sniping out in the docks.
The map smells bad.
It does smell bad. It does smell bad. Frog Isle. This is I think something that I'm gonna put in a tier of which other people will not agree. I think it's F tier. I hate it. It's a simplistic map, and I used to love it. It felt like a Fraggers map. I love playing Kinessa and doing jump shots. I love doing jump shots in general over the wall. But the more and more I play it, the more and more I try to flank on it, the more and more I realize I'm really bad at flanking. Ooh, 1 more month and we got 2 years. Sunny, thank you so much for the resub. 23 months.
B.
You think B? Okay.
I think B.
I think B.
My opinion.
I think flanking on this map is hard as hell. Like a lot of times you have like 3 push main, 2 push frog, like spitting frog puking thingy, and then you try to push, and then they're like, oh, they're giving too much defense. We'll just split off and do another one. The problem is you're just like, all right, team, 1 go to the right side, 1 go to the left side, split. You go, and then like 3 seconds later, you both look over to the side, and you're like, oh, we're in the same place. I don't know. There's just no cover between the routes, and it just feels weird. So you want to put it in the B? Verb wanted to put it into the B. Okay, I'm going to put it in the C just because I have a little bit of a hatred for it. Maybe it's because it's been in the game for so damn long and it's received no major updates other than the look of it, and I'm just tired as hell of seeing it. Maybe. I don't know. It's pulled the dust too on me. Frozen Guard. Frozen Guard has always been a map that I used to kind of like. And now I play it and its retaking feels impossible because of the long line sides. If you're pushing and you're a flank, that's even worse than Frog Isle, dude. Like I think I'd
Frozen Guard now.
I think I would rather. No, I'd rather play Frozen Guard over Frog Isle, but I do think it's a worse map. I just would rather play Frozen Guard over Frog Isle. I'm gonna be nice and rate it below Frog Isle. Ice Mines.
So hard to take if you're losing. I don't understand why.
Ice Mines is because when you capture the point, you're like, I'm gonna go zone, and then you take 4 steps and you can see down an entire corridor that covers both angles, or like they can't get anywhere. You could just, if they try to go the other route, you just knock them off their mount if you can get there quick enough.
And it's like you said with the flank thing, this is probably the worst map for it. Like there's no getting past the enemy team doesn't want you to.
Yep. I'd rather play it over Frozen Guard, and I think I'd rather play it over Frog Isle. Jaguar Falls. I can't tell if it's my favorite map or my second favorite map. There is no verticality on Jag. You know, I brought that up earlier about a map not having verticality. But have you ever been in a map that has too much verticality and how annoying that is? Carnage coming in with 60 months. Best Drogos map, top 2 maps. Maybe Kami is hidden Drogos main. Bright Marsh and Dragon Falls or Jaguar Falls are the best 2 Drogos maps. Interesting. What's your thoughts on Jaguar Falls to Verb and Shark?
Oh, it's definitely S tier.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm okay with that because I would put it for me A tier, but I'm okay with S tier.
All right.
Also, it does have verticality though. I don't know why we're saying it doesn't.
I mean, it has ramps you can go up.
It has those things on each side of the point that you can go up.
I will say though,
top of.
it is very little though. Like when I think of verticality, I think of easily accessible verticality.
Okay. I think we all have a different definition. What do you define verticality for a map?
Up and down. I don't. But
It has to have a certain amount. Like when I say Jaguar Falls doesn't have any verticality, I mean like in Serpent Beach, there are times where I'm looking at a direction and I get shot and I'm like, oh, they were above me and I couldn't see them. Where like, I don't think you'll ever be looking down long enough or far enough to not see a person above you on Jaguar Falls because it's all just kind of flat. It's just slightly elevated.
it's not as common for sure.
Yeah. But that's how I define verticality is if you ever get shot and you're like, oh shit, they were above me. But that's probably an incorrect definition by far. It's just how I look at it. If you go up, it has verticality. Well put. Primal Court. Oops, we missed that. Serpent Beach. I like to put this in the S tier because it's Serpent. Nailed it.
Serpent Beach.
Serpent goes to A IMO. Really? I'm going to say lowest of S. Shattered Desert? I think we go B.
Really?
I think I'm just going off of like, imagine you load up a map and you're like, Frozen Guard. I'm like, oh, I'm pissed. Frog Isle. I'm pissed. Ice Mines. I'm like, I don't get that map that often, but like, I'm probably pretty glad I don't get that map that often. And then Shattered Desert. I'm not happy. It's got flank routes. It's got a lot of flank routes.
No,
the
that's true.
sand on the outside is dumb. I think there's a flank route that like 80% of the community doesn't know about where like if you're pushing on the side with the where you there's the
right,
tunnel,
yeah.
you can go hard to the left and follow it around and then do it like a hard flank like that. But you're like fully committed if you go that way. All right, we'll put it at the top of C tier because I think I would prefer getting it over Ice Mines, Frog Island, and Frozen Guard. Splitstone. I honestly have been enjoying Splitstone more and more and more. And I think it goes back to when I used to play competitively, quote unquote. We were getting into the tier 1 scrims, but we couldn't get there yet. But there was one thing that we for some reason could do, and we could rock Splitstone Quarry. Like we were undefeated in Splitstone Quarry to the point where like top teams of NA and stuff like that were looking to scrim us to see what we were doing on Splitstone Quarry and like how to beat it. And that was back when I played with like Ricotta, Deju, Indy, and Ruff, and Gwinnekins was in there too at some point. I don't know. We swapped around some people, but I remember we just figured it out. It's just like just control fidget spinners. So if you saw like a top down view of us playing Splitstone Quarry, they're like, what are they doing differently? You just see like this hovering circle, everyone evenly placed out, watching corners in the fidget. And then sometimes we would come out and be like, Kanara would have a shield and she would shield and then go out there and get like 10% and then just go back and hide in fidget spinners for a while. And it just felt natural. It felt easy to do. And people are like, what are they doing? It's so good. And we're just laughing, being like, okay. They figured it out at one point and then they just started like pushing us and killing us. It was rough, man. Splitstone for me has always been a map where I have good feelings and memories about it. Stone Keep. I think it's a very solid map. I think it's probably top of A tier for me. Timber Mill.
F tier.
Definitely
I
F
love it, but
tier.
Actually, can you create like a Z tier for it?
Would I rather play Fish Market over Timbermill? I don't know.
I'd rather play Timbermill.
To the bottom of F.
Orders Gate is B tier for me.
I hate so on console. I want to throw this opinion out. Warder's Gate still sometimes doesn't work on console.
This is my hot take. I think a little bit I was leaning towards Borders Gate being B because there's nothing else in B, and I think it would be weird if I didn't have B and I would have to shift some things. Oh, we're missing Bazaar too. Bazaar and Dawnforge on here. So I would put Dawnforge, I would put Bazaar at a B because I would still prefer to play Bazaar over Shattered Desert and Shattered Desert over everything else in C. And then Dawnforge, I'm definitely putting it at a B and maybe even at an A, like lowest A.
What's crazy is I would rather play Shattered Desert over Warder's Gate.
I mean, they're both very close. At the beginning, at top of C and B. How about a mini tier list for non-siege maps? Dragon Arena. Super boring map. It's a circle. You run around, you kill F. Thoughts, chat? Thoughts? Anyone in Discord? It's got a middle cookie, though. All right, it goes above Timber Mill, then. I'll give it that. It does have cookies. Now I'm hungry. Going back down because it reminded me that I was hungry. Snowfall Junction. I mean, out of all the TDM or maps, is it the Timber Mill of TDM? Shark? Rebuttal.
I could care less.
Could care less.
So you do care?
I think it's a really interesting map. It's got like a wall on one side, and then next to the wall, there's like this underground with a bouncy thing, and there's ramps to hit different angles, and there's tons of long distance angles, but also things you can hide behind so you can cut off those angles. But the point feels also massive. It feels like Fish Market's point, where it's like, we need cover, and it's like, just throw a box over there. Is that it? Yep, we're good. And then they left.
The middle of the map, it's just completely empty in Snowfall Junction.
Sure.
No one's in there. It's unused land. I bet you if they did a statistic on how many feet footprints at the middle of that map, it's probably like 1%. That's unused territory, and that's no bueno.
So Snowfall Junction is an F. Trade District. Trade District seems like a map for the first time in TDM where they felt like they tried to make a map. If I can put that.
Fun for TDM. Yeah.
It's interesting. And what sucks is It's a map where if a group of people were like, we're going to stick together and play right, it helps. Or like in Foreman's Rise or other ones that we're talking about, it just doesn't seem to work out that well. But this map is so big and there's so many different ways you can go. I don't know. I always am miserable when I get on Trade District because I get into a map or I get into a team where we don't know what we're doing, but then the other team have been practicing for the past 4 months daily. There are too many angles. I agree. You think it's a B? I was going to go for like a high C maybe. I'm literally just gauging all of these off of like, how much do I sigh when I hear it? Primal Chord. This one should be easy, right? What do I think when I hear Primal Chord? Didn't we already do this one? It's a circle. It's a circle of a map, bro. What do we think about Abyss? I think a bit. Yeah, sometimes you can get spawned in a weird place and people are doing fights weird, but like the fights in the middle where like the circular room kind of connects from 2 areas, those are fun fights. Being able to flank them is kind of, it takes a little bit of time, but it doesn't take too much time, and that feels fun to do and rewarding. And how sad am I when I see it? I mean, like, I'm not ecstatic. We're putting Abyss at B tier because it's my favorite TDM map, I think. Foreman's Rise is pretty good too.
I like Magistrate's Archives too.
I do like Magistrate's
I
Archives.
like them small maps.
I do like Magistrate's Archives. All right, let me know down in the comments how wrong this final tier list is. But for now, it's time for me to head out of here. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks for watching. I'm not gonna be one of those people who asks you to like and subscribe, so I'm not gonna ask.